In the news tonight, the sanction trio were on the probe for over 2.5 years.
We do not do this lightly. This is something that we ensure that we have a preponderance of evidence before we're ready to levy these sanctions. And we had that in this case against the 3 individuals who were sanctioned.
An illegal trade of arms, a major concern for the U.S., says Ambassador Jenkins. The investigation which led to the sanction 3 Guyanese, father and son, Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed, along with Embattled Permanent Secretary May Thomas, occurred over a period of 2.5 years. Ambassador Nicole Terriot, who spoke with members of the media following a press conference with visiting Ambassador Bonnie Jenkins, the Secretary for Arms Control and International Security at the U.S. Embassy, said the sanctions imposed are reserved for persons who are involved in gross levels of corruption and human rights abuses.
So this is something that we reserve for very serious crimes. And after 2.5 years, it was a whole of U.S. government investigation. And we had, and it's a very high bar. We do not do this lightly. This is something that we ensure that we have a preponderance of evidence before we're ready to levy these sanctions. And we had that in this case against the 3 individuals who were sanctioned. As far as I know, that is not the case. The investigation was specific to these 3 individuals. I'm not aware of any additional investigations at this time.
She explained that the U.S. government will be working on providing the information requested by the Guyana government into the investigation after Guyana was left in the dark.
So my understanding, I don't work for the Department of Treasury, but my understanding is, having dealt with these in Haiti as well in my previous position, that they have to keep these investigations very close hold because they can be compromised by anyone. So we tend to not share a lot of information until the investigation reaches a certain stage. And so I regret that people feel that they've been left in the dark, but that is just, in the United States, it would be exactly the same way if we were conducting an investigation against someone accused of corruption in the United States. We would not share that information until the investigation were at a stage where that was possible. And that was requested, and I strongly recommended to our partners back at in Washington that they provide as much of that information as possible, because I understand that the government here wants to do their own investigation and follow up on this. They're also incredibly concerned about this corruption.
She, however, said that the governments of Guyana and the United States have an excellent relationship as it involves the sharing of intelligence.
Unclassified, there's also a level of classification called sensitive but unclassified. We could share that as well. And then there is classified information that we can request be declassified, that we can be allowed to share. And that goes back to your earlier question about our intelligence, or actually it was your question about our intelligence sharing. When we want to be able to share something with the government, we have to request permission from the source agency. And unfortunately, we're a very big bureaucracy in the United States, so sometimes that takes a little bit of time. But I've absolutely requested that, and I was very clear in my request that we want to be able to share as much as humanly possible, because we want to be very transparent. The government of Guyana has been very transparent with us, and we want to do the same in return.
The trio were sanctioned for acts of corruption, which include bribery and gold smuggling.
What are you doing?
Igloo ice cream. You know it's good.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say, Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabroek Market.
One of the things that would distinguish us from the other guys is our advancement in technology when it comes to security. we've been able to actually go ahead and provide the home service, home security service, and drone service, among the other service that would have significantly contributed to securing society as a whole.
The United States government is working closely with Guyana and CARICOM to address the issue of illegal guns and ammunition. Ambassador Bonnie Jenkins, U.S. Under Secretary for Arms Control and International Security, who is in Guyana, interacted with local journalists at the U.S. Embassy, where she said that her visit was part of the continuation of discussions with partners on issues of mutual cooperation, which included regional security. She said the possibility of small arms making its way into Guyana was discussed.
That's been a topic that we've talked about, and we recognize the concern that the government and individuals here have about the illegal guns. I can say that, we are working very closely with Guyana to try to address this issue. We're also working closely with CARICOM to try to address this issue. We just recently had an export ban on illegal arms, so we can try to figure out how to address this issue and make sure they don't get in the hands of those who should not be having those arms. But we're also, as I mentioned, working with CARICOM on the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative as well to address this issue. So it has come up, and the U.S. government recognized the concern that many people here in Guyana have on that issue, and we're working very closely to try to address it. Not just here, but with CARICOM as well.
Also discussed was the possibility that monies from the sale of arms and gold smuggling were being used to finance terrorism.
One of my areas is focused on international security. So what I can say is our embassy has been having extremely good conversations with your government here on these important issues of how we can help provide the assistance that is needed here. So we want to help build that up. So I can say that these are conversations that are regularly happening with our government and with your government here.
The ambassador held discussion with a number of government officials.
Drink and taste, you will never decline. Extra lemon and lime, it's the two combined. It's one of a kind. Extra lemon and lime, extra lemon and lime. Taste the citrus in every sip.
It's here! Igloo Ice Cream Fruit Bars. 4 mouth-watering flavors. Mango, pineapple, strawberry, and soursop. A beautiful combination of real fruit and igloo ice cream. Go old school with Fluty Popsicle. Classic flavors and refreshing goodness. Available at Igloo outlets and all your favorite shops.
From the Army, I go to the police force, spend 5 years service. Then take a break and join Sheriff Security. And so far the experience has been good and I'm enjoying it. I like my work, very dedicated and determined. Very nice company, have a lot of benefits. So I think Sheriff Security is one of the best so far for me, for my experience.
The suggestions of e-learning and the provision of vouchers to cover tuition is not an attempt to undermine the public education system, says Vice President Barry Jagdeo. Speaking at his weekly press conference on Thursday, Jagdeo said parents must be given a choice when it comes to the education of their children. The suggestion, which was mentioned by the distribution of vouchers for tuition and e-learning, was heavily criticized in some sections of society as an attempt by the government to undermine the public education system and collective bargaining process.
Said to give choices to parents and their children, choices. We have to explore in the future. Not that we have agreed to. We have to explore as a country whether we want to give some parents in areas where you have good schools a voucher for $700,000 a year, and then let them decide which school they want to send their kids to. We have to explore that as one of the ways of improving maybe access and also quality of tuition. I also argued that we have to get public education up to the same level of tuition as private. So that's one method I said. And then I said maybe for areas that it's difficult for people to go to school, to give people another option to an e-school model versus physically going to school, but just as an option. So they choose themselves, the parents. It means they can make choices for their children about where to go.
According to Jack Deere, the proposal also included improved education options for teachers while holding them accountable at the same time.
I said, we're going to train, give more opportunities to our teachers for training. We already trained over 2,000 at Cyril Potter College in the period we've been in office, and we have 4,000 more on Gold Scholarship. This is 6,000 of 14,000 teachers. So I said we would fund the training because we want better quality teachers in the classroom, but we will pay for that improvement. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying also that once we give you better quality education and we improve the salaries at the upper end too, we intend to hold people more accountable. So you get more money and you also are trained by the state, paid for fully by the state. But what's wrong with holding teachers accountable for performance?
He said that his government will not apologize for its attempts to improve the education prospects for the nation's children.
We have an obligation to do that as the government of Guyana. We're not going to be apologetic to anyone and editorial in the Kaieteur News or Rosedale Ford about this. We have a duty to do that.
Teachers in the public education system across the country resumed strike action on May 9th. Since then, the Ministry of Education and the Guyana Teachers Union were unable to find common ground to bring an end to the strike, which has increased learning loss in the public education system. The union is holding out for an interim 20% increase across the board payment to be made immediately. The two sides are at a stalemate with regards to agreeing on the terms of resumption. For these and other stories, do visit us at our website www.rdproductiongy.com.